Hey everybody, it's Doug Mystic Eye on Board Game Geek. Welcome you to our first game rounds of Agents of SMERSH using the new Swagman's Hope expansion bits. We're not going to waste a lot of time in preamble and discussing the game. One thing I did tell you I had to do from the last session was to place the location cards of our agent's secret missions. I have done that, so Agent U00, Nika, has a secret mission in New York and in Sydney. Sheena Mars has one in Stockholm and one in Ottawa. And Cali Dagger has one in Panama City and in Berlin. So she's pretty close to Berlin, so that's probably where she'll... Well, no, she's not. She's in New York. Anyway, she's going to have to probably make her way south or somewhere else before she gets that. But let's just get started. We're going to start with our first agent. We're just going to go through the line here. So starting with Nikki, then going to Sheena, then going to Cali Dagger. So let's get going and have some fun with Agents of SMERSH. Okay, so first up is going to be Nika. She is currently in the Alps where she starts her movement and begins the game. We're going to pan right up there. She's at the very top of the board up here in the Alps, and basically what we're going to do is we have a number of choices to start out with, but our choices are easy, especially this early in the game. We get we can rest, which we don't need to do because you have to have at least 2 injuries to rest. We can move. We can move via train or plane, which we don't need to do at this point, and we can't. We're in the Alps. Then the next thing we do after we decide our movement is draw our encounter phase where we're at. We have an encounter. We resolve the encounter. And then we do the villain phase, which means we draw a villain card. If we have succeeded our encounter, it'll mean different things. We'll get to read what the encounters are each time we play. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to roll the movement die for her and see how far she can get. Now, ideally, she wants to get across the ocean to New York and then way down to Sydney for her secret missions. That's as good a place to start as any, so she'll probably start heading toward New York if possible, and we'll see how that goes. So let's roll some dice and see. There, wow, she got 3 moves, so she can move 3 spaces. Let me think about where that might be. We do know that she does want to get to New York. She could move to a place with an airport. Let's see how that goes. Well, we know that she can't move and then fly. So I think what we're going to do with her is we'll simply go to Paris. Oh wait, from the Alps, yeah, she can go to Paris. And then Madrid, and then I think from Madrid she's going to start the ocean trek over to New York, and she'll end up in the North Atlantic. So she's going to be in the North Atlantic when she draws or actually has an encounter. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do when we hit that we're in the North Atlantic space is we're going to draw a fate card. Now these fate cards are over here, and they have a number of items on them, and we're going to show you what's important here. So what's important right now is the 2. We're just going to keep track of that for a moment and know that we drew a 2 on the oceanic encounters. Then we're going to roll a die, and we're going to look at this chart here, which is, by the way, this is a new response chart that came with the expansion. The oceanic encounters are the same. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to roll a die, and we're going to see what the results of that are. So let's just roll it here on the table. We're not rolling a lot of dice. We can control 1. So we rolled a 4. So 4 is going to be espionage on the high seas, page 49 in the book, and response group F. So we flip it over. Response group F is up here. So we can negotiate, sneak attack, reason with, act unconcerned, lie, or be honest. Well, it looks like with our agent she is actually kind of a fighter. So I think we're going to, she's got, well, she also has, yeah, weapon use and, yeah, athletics. Let's go with sneak attack. So response group F, sneak attack. So that's going to be 2. So we know we have a 2 and a 2 for that. Now we're going to get out our big book of encounters. And we need to go to page 40, what was it, 49? Yeah, 49. So, okay, here we go. Now, it's not 49. Actually, it's encounter 49. So we're going to start there, and then we're going to know, we know that we drew a 2 on our card. We also had a 2 in our response group. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to page, I'm not going to explain it every time. I'm explaining to you this time how we determine. Next time I'll just I'll break and go right to the encounter. So here we are with our encounter. I'm going to use the card to cover up what pass and fail is, and then I'm going to read to you I might have to do this a different way. This is going to be awfully hard. I think I'm going to need to, as I said before, take the camera off the stand, even though I know it's much more stable on the tripod, and see what we can do. Anyway, here's what it says. Pierre booked his goons onto the same passenger ship as you. There are 4 of them, and they mean serious business. Not afraid to take you down in front of other passengers, you attempt to hide around the ship and hope to pick them off one by one, but they like to hunt in pairs. You will need to cause some diversions. So, well, we have to test deception of +1. So her deception is 0, so that's only going to give her 1 extra dice. Or we can do hand-to-hand +2. We pass with stealth automatically. We don't have stealth, but we do have a hand-to-hand of 1, which would give us 3 dice, but we need 2 successes. So let's try that. Hand-to-hand, 3 dice, 2 successes. Okay. I'm going to move the book for a moment. We're going to go over to the dice bowl, and we're going to roll some dice. Okay, so for this test, you know that we're on an ocean trip across the North Atlantic, and Pierre, one of the masterminds and henchmen of Dr. Lobo, has henchmen aboard the ship. We're trying to pick them off, but they're hanging out in pairs, and we have to be very careful while doing it. So to start with, we do get our base die. Our character, Agent Nika, gets a 1 die from the bag for a hand-to-hand skill. It's this one, the blue one. Then we get 2 more dice as a result of the skill check itself. So we're going to get the black and the red. I think those are good ones. We need to look to something like that when we roll the dice. Okay, let's pick up our dice and get rolling. Okay, so what happens here? We got 2 successes, and we got 1 injury. So we did succeed at the test, but we are going to take an injury token. They look like this, and that is going to go on Nika Shizuka's character sheet. But we did pass, so we'll now go to take a look at what the pass information is for the adventure we were on. Okay, here's our adventure. So, as you know, we were on the high seas, and we were trying to take out the goons of Pierre, one of the masterminds and henchmen of Dr. Lobo. And this is what happens when we pass. So it says, pass. You get the help of a crewman who uses the public address system to call one of the men to the captain's quarters. You kick him overboard as he arrives, then pick off his partner before he realizes what happened. You lure the other 2 to the engine room, where you start a fire. Blinded by smoke, they never see you coming. So basically, we take them down, and we advance in this. We get an advanced skill. So I'm going to take a look at what advanced skill we want to add to her pool, and we'll see what we do there. Okay, so here's her character sheet. Now we're going to pick a new advanced skill, and I think for her, because she is so poor at things like persuasion and things like that. Let's see. She's got weapon use and electronics currently. We could do adventuring or speed. Let's see. Or disguise. We got lots of advanced skills we could pick from. Seduction, lockpicking, driving, detection. Let's do adventuring, just because. That sounds good. So we now have a new advanced skill for our character, and now we're going to get on with the next part of the turn. And so now that we've completed an adventure successfully, we get to draw a villain card. Now there's 2 parts. There's multiple parts to a villain card, but we're going to do this one called the end here. Let me back this up just a little bit more. There we go. We're going to do the end of turn event, not the villain advancement. If we had failed at the skill check, we would have done this villain advancement. We read this flavored text, and we'd increase Dr. Lobo's track by 1, but we succeeded. So we don't do that. Here's what we do. We get this. It says end of turn event. UN building in Paris attacked by long-range missiles. That's not good. We remove all intel tokens from Europe. Good thing there aren't any. And we add intel to New Orleans. I'm not sure why New Orleans, but we'll run with that. So we're going to discard that. We're going to go to the board over here. We're going to draw a random intel token without looking at it, and we're going to add it up here to New Orleans, right near our Cali Dagger. So that's not a bad thing. Maybe she can pick up some intel early on. And that is going to basically end the turn for Nika Shizuka, Agent U00, and we're going to move on to Sheena Mars, who is in the Indian Ocean. Okay, guys, here's Sheena Mars. Now, the reason she's able to start in any sea space, any ocean space. So I started her in the Indian Ocean so that she can quickly get into Australia and check out our new board. Now, why do I want to do that? Well, because there's some good stuff there, for one thing. There's not only there are whole new sets of encounters, which are kind of neat, but there's also some new city encounters to engage in while we're there. So we're going to do that. So let's roll first. We're going to pan up here just a little bit, roll our movement dice, and hopefully we get more than one. We got 3 again. Nice. So she is right here, as you can see, in the Indian Ocean. Now, basically, from the Indian Ocean, you can move to Perth. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to take our first movement, and we're going to go to Perth. And you know what? She can move 3, but she's not going to. She's just going to stop there. So she's stopping right here in Perth. Now there's a dead drop token there, and we're going to pick that up as well as encounter that space. Okay, so the first thing we do here is we collect the dead drop token that is on the space, which is going to give us some kind of benefit. It's a UN transport, so we'll just take that and we'll put it on her card. That gives her a UN transport for later use. I'm going to read that and just make absolutely certain that that's how that particular one works, so I'm pretty sure that it is. UN player receives a blue UN transport from the supply. Okay, so it acts as a blue UN transport, so we do take one of these, and we put it on her character sheet. UN transports allow you to get from place to place more quickly. So now we're going to draw an encounter card from Australia Encounters as we reside in Perth. So as I say, a deceiver in the ranks. 14-0, an explosion. Okay. We'll get this out and go to the book, and that's going to be our response group. Is going to be L, and we're going to play this. So it's going to be 0L, and then we're going to pick a response group from the new book for Swagman's Hope. Okay, guys, so here's what we have. We have a first. So on the top card, the new cards for Australia. The first set is when you're appearing in one of the coastal cities, and the bottom one, the bottom information there is if you're in Swagman's Hope specifically. So basically what we're going to do is, just as normal, we're going to read the number. So the number on the encounter card is the first one, so that's a 14, and then the second number is the number we play on the reaction card. Well, our reaction card is going to be, or reaction group is going to be 0, which is kind of down here at the bottom. Let me scroll down so you can see that a little better. It says stop talking and start fighting, disobey orders, a leap of faith, ask questions later, dive into danger, or go it alone. Well, she's not a huge fighter. She's more the deception and persuasive and seduction, gambling type person. But, so maybe a leap of faith? Let's do a leap of faith. So that's going to be 3. So right now we're at a 4, a 3, and then on our card we use the selection that says, on our fate card, we use the selection that says no intel. So we're at a 4, a 3, and a 3, or 14 rather, 3 and 3. And that's going to be our spot. So right now I am going to look that up in the book, and we're going to read our encounter. Okay, here's our encounter, guys. It says, it has been 3 hard weeks in Australia when you are approached by an Aussie bushman who introduces himself as Pat Burke. He certainly looks the part, khaki shorts, crocodile tooth necklace, hat with corks dangling from it, the works, and a familiar looking knife tucked into his belt. I hear you've been looking for the butcher's gang, he said. I can take you to them. Why would you do that? I have my reasons. Let's just say we don't see eye to eye anymore. The knife tells you that he's a member of the butcher's gang. but what's his game? Is he hoping you'll take out the butcher, or does he plan to turn you over to him? Either way, it's tough to pass up an opportunity like this one. So the butcher is at level 1, by the way, and he's one of the extra villains that comes to the group, the Butcher of Australia. He is at level 1, so we have to test deception +1 and pass with stealth. Well, she doesn't have stealth, but she does have a decent deception of 2. So we're going to have pretty good luck there. So let's go to the dice roller and roll for our successes. Okay, so we start with our normal dice. And in this case, we're going to be rolling a deception +1. Sheena Mars has a deception of 2 already, so we're going to get 2 dice for her, and then a 3rd dice for the +1 of the test. So that's going to give us 4 dice to roll. We need 1 success to pass. Let's see if we can get that done. Wow, we actually did really well. We got 2 successes, no injuries. So let's go back and read our past success information. Okay, everybody, here's what we get. It says pass. Burke leads you to an outcrop overlooking the gang's campsite. From there, it's a simple matter to stage a series of guerrilla raids, weakening the gang and acquiring some very useful information. Top secret. That means we get to draw a top secret card. That is awesome because they are almost always incredible. So let's go do that. We're having some good luck so far. Okay, here is our wonderful lady, Sheena Mars. She's going to get to draw a top secret card. So we're going to roll. We're going to shuffle these up a bit and draw one for her. See what happens. All right. What do we get? We get Ruse de Guerre. Flip up 2 intelligence in the pool or heal all injuries. You can use this at any time and discard. That is a great card. We're going to keep that right there under her character sheet. So basically, what does that mean? So we're eventually going to collect intelligence that will go into a pool here, and we will not know what they are. And those are the things we need to flip up to defeat Dr. Lobo in his lair. Well, with a card like that, we can get the opportunity to flip a couple of them up and know what they are ahead of time. Even though we've gathered all this intelligence, we may not know the specifics of that intelligence. So that is going to end her turn. And we're going to go on to the last part of the turn, and that's to draw a villain card. Now remember, she did succeed, so we're not drawing it with the villain advancement upside, but with this side up, the end of turn events. It says piracy increases a SMERSH outfit's ship with advanced radar technology. Remove intel from Europe. Again, we don't have any intel from Europe. And we add intel to the South Atlantic. So we're going to do that. Now, it also says we have to close an airport in any European city. So let's go to Europe up here. Take a look. I think that what we're going to close. This is hard because we've got to close a European city. I think it's going to be Athens. Athens doesn't really go very far. There's a couple. No, Athens doesn't have an airport. So it's got to be Rome, Warsaw, Berlin, Stockholm, London. Reykjavik. Well, it is a yellow one. It is considered European. So we're going to do this one up here. We're going to close the airport here, and then what we're also going to do is drop an intel token, which they are over here. We don't look at it, and we're going to drop it in the South Atlantic. So it's going to go right here. All right, that's going to end her turn. So let's move on to Cali Dagger's turn. Okay, so Cali Dagger, she's in New York City, and we have some good luck here because an intelligence token dropped very near her. And you definitely want to clear intelligence tokens off the board. If they pile up and they get to too many, in the case of Swagman's Hope, it's 6. If there are 6 or more, then I have to go back and look to confirm. It might be a little less than that. But anyway, if there are too many, then you wipe them all off the board and you lose them temporarily until more come back out. And we don't want that to happen. So we're going to take advantage of this scenario here, and we're going to roll first for her movement. Let's see what we get. We get a 3 again. That seems like a very consistent thing to do. So she's going to move to Chicago, then she's going to move to New Orleans, right here where the intel is. And we are going to pick up that intel, which means we don't look at it. Boom. And we put it in our intel pool over here. That affects our encounter because it actually makes the encounter more challenging. So when we draw our North American card, we're going to look at the part that says with a, here I'll just show you. I'll draw it. Okay. This is a little different. Anyway, someone will say with or with, oh, I'm sorry, it's our fate card. Here's our encounter card. So this is going to be encounter 10. This message will self-destruct with a response group of C. So we're going to take that and we're going to put it next to our table for our encounter book, and then we're going to draw a fate card. This is what I was talking about actually when we draw the fate card, where it says no intel or with intel. We chose to take the intel, so we're going to take the 5 instead of 3, which is going to make our encounter a little more difficult. But let's go to the encounter book. Okay, so the first thing we do is we look at our cards here, and we see that we have an encounter group of C. So we're going to look at encounter group C. Remember that the title of this adventure is the message. This message will self-destruct. So we can observe, quick action, test your limits with determination, get assistance, let's have some fun, and at all costs. Well, Cali is very good in persuasion. She's average in a lot of things and terrible at spycraft. So let's try and pick something that's going to benefit or use her talents. Well, being that she's better at, yeah, let's do with get assistance. She doesn't feel too comfortable in this. So we're going to do get assistance, which is going to be 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our book. We're going to go to page 10. We're going to look at entry 1055. Okay, well, it's at the very bottom of the page, so I'll read it to you. It says, a museum has just received a rare artifact that the UN needs as a bargaining chip with the Russian collector. You were sent a recorded message with instructions for you to retrieve the artifact. Unfortunately, the worst UN spy, Agent XXX, has been assigned to help you. Now you must do the work of 2 agents. Okay, well, that wasn't too great. Okay, so I flipped it over. Our encounter actually went to the top of the page. Now this is going to be, wow, we're going to have to test persuasion, pass with luck or seduction. Persuasion -2. Man, is this going to be rough. Let's see, she does have a persuasion of 2, so that puts her a 0. Basically, she's going to start with the basic skill she has. She has stealth and driving as her advanced skill. So she's going to have to, basically, she just got her base die. She's going to have to use some of her resolve if she's going to pass this test. So let's go back to the dice roller and see what we can do for her dice rolling. You know, I think what I'm going to do, guys, is this is our first session. I've been keeping it on the stand so it's nice and stable, but I do believe in our next session I'm going to take it off so I can move and talk a little more freely. I was afraid when I turned around you couldn't hear what I was saying, which was basically I was looking at her skills, which are now behind me on the table as I have this table here for the book. Okay, anyway, let's go back to the table and see what we can do. Okay, so for right now, she's just got this 1 die. Now, she has a persuasion of 2, which is sad because she's actually quite good at it. But it's a -2 because of the problem with her, the terrible UN agent that's come to assist her. So one thing that we're going to do, I'm just going to scroll over here because her sheet's right there. We are going to spend a resolve to add +1 to a single test. Yeah, we're going to do that. I can exchange any number of cards when gambling. Okay, well anyway, we're going to do this first one. We're going to add a die. That's going to at least give us 1 die to try and succeed. We only have to get 1 success. Hopefully we get a good die out of here. Got the white die, which is not good at all. Okay, so our odds of succeeding are very low. I could spend another resolve to do that. Reroll a single die. You may spend max 1 resolve too. So that's all I can do. Okay. Well, this may be the first one we fail. Let's hope there are successes on these dice, but we're going to see if we get really lucky. Okay, let's roll for Cali Daggers. This bumbling Canadian or UN agent is going to mess us up, and she did. So we have failed that. So this is going to be our first failure. So let's go back to the book and see what a failure does. So guys, I took the camera off the tripod. It's not working for me. Sorry. Anyway, we're going to go to the fail part of this test here. So it says, let me just make sure I got it all currently in here. There we go. You sneak into the museum, leaving Agent XXX on watch. When the museum curator makes an unexpected visit, XXY decides to stall her. I think they mean XXX. The curator is instantly suspicious and orders a lockdown of the museum with you inside. You are arrested, and the UN is forced to disavow all knowledge. I am demoralized. Okay, I'll show you what that means. Okay, here's the demoralized card. Basically, it says demoralized, or what's the use? Dr. Lobo is going to win anyway. It says you encounter your encounter tests suffer a -1 penalty, and the way we get rid of this card is by succeeding in an encounter. So we have to find something particularly easy for her to do, maybe some driving encounter. But that's the worst thing that's going to happen from a card. It's not the worst thing that's going to happen in the game, because now that she has failed, we have to draw a villain card as well. Okay, all right, here's the villain card. So we're going to draw that. Now instead of looking at this part for this card, we're now going to look at this part. Oh, that's bad. It says Australian economy mired in corruption. Lobo's track moves up 2. That is bad. So we're going to go place the... I won't track you along. That'll make you dizzy. We're going to place this here next to Dr. Lobo's sheet. And look what happens. We go boom, boom. We're at 4 already out of 9. It could be pathetically bad. That was only after failing 1 encounter. So hopefully we'll find some ways to drive that back or get on with a quick defeat of Dr. Lobo. This is only the first turn. Again, this starts that way because of the extra benefits of being in of the Swagman's Hope expansion. So let's move on. We got one more card to draw. Okay, now we draw the end of the turn event for her. So when we look at that card, it says USA President admits he is depressed. There is no way to defeat SMERSH, he says. Remove intel from Africa. There isn't any. Add intel to Berlin. So far we've been able to add our intel tokens. Here's one. We're going to add it up here in Berlin. Now we got we got 3 intel on the board plus the ones in the one in Australia. So we got 3 currently on the board that count as intel. Basically, that is going to end our round. So I don't know if I would say that started off really well, but one bad turn really kind of dinged us there. We do have our guys beefed up a little bit, and we need to keep doing that. We need to keep doing more. So thank you for watching Agents of SMERSH. This is our official first turn. We got more turns to go. Hopefully we'll be able to drive back Dr. Lobo or get the intelligence we need to defeat him quickly. See you next time. Thanks for watching, and talk to you later.